What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. One defense that used to be just everywhere on every map you'd ever join, and all you'd ever see was nothing but the bees. The Hornet's Nest from the Dryad used to be just so heavily used, and you just don't see it a whole lot anymore. So we are here on Chaos 10 Unholy Catacombs, going to get us some clusters today, and we are going to work out some bee builds. So we're using the Hornet's Nest with defense rate, anti-melee, and anti-chaos. We've got destruction, mass destruction, and then fleeting nature. In addition to that, I am going to throw in a couple of flame auras for anti-heal. So I've got defense rate, anti-heal, and tenacity. Don't need the tenacity. It's on there for me just because this is my reflect beam relic, and I just moved it over to the flame aura to run this map a few times. Now, when it comes to bee builds, they are quite strong, yet the bee's AI kind of does itself in a little bit. We're also going to be using a little thick vines as well. So we've got thick vines in the mix, and we're going to go with some trees to get a little bit of thick vines action down in the bottom where the enemies are coming out. So with that in mind, I think we're going to be able to do about 5 bees, probably. And still, let's go ahead and get our flame aura too. Now, where do we want that flame aura? Got mixed emotions on it. Part of me wants to put it up here. Actually, I think that's the way to do it. Let's just put it right here. It will get a little double dip, and then it'll still probably be close enough to get that range aura on it. I don't think we're at max range, are we? No, we're not at max range yet, so we should be close enough to get a little max range on it. With that in mind, let's get our reflect beam down. Now, this has got destructive pylon, boost pylon, or destructive pylon, range pylon, and health pylon on it. So full pylons on this reflect beam. And that should give us a little bit more range there, I believe. Check it out. 2307, 2861. So yeah, we get 500 and change range left over on that. And then now, we just want to bee it up. So let's see. How many bees? I said 5, I think. Actually, do we want to get our reflect beam down, or our boost star down first? Let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll get our 5 bees in. Doesn't really matter what configuration we put these bees, as I'm not going to be using a buff beam on them. So we can kind of slap them down however we want. Let's do the same thing everywhere and see how this works out. Now, there will, without a doubt, I think, be some leaks in Wave 1 we'll have to keep an eye on, because we're not going to go with any real walls in the deal. Now, some mobs will probably get distracted and go right for the tree here, so that will buy us a little bit of time, but we're not going to use any regular old blockades to block a lane off. Let's just go something like that. Nice, effective spammage. Now, of course, if you play actively on your Dryad, you can go Corrupt, and then that's going to give you a 3rd bee for every nest, which, if you enjoy playing the Dryad, that is 100% the way to go. However, I kind of want to play on my Hunter, so that is what I'm going to do. Now, we've got 400 left. Let's go ahead and drop an upgrade on each tree. That will give us a little bit more damage for thick vines. And then another 270. Let's just start on this side of the map. We'll upgrade all these bees. And let's just let it fly here and see how we do. Now, the anti-heal, I think, is not necessarily required as well. I think we'd probably be just fine without it. The Chieftain, of course, would sneak a little bit further up the lane without that anti-heal, though. Yeah, it looks like the Chieftain... looks like the Chieftain are getting owned with the anti-heal in the mix, so it is working as intended, that is for sure. Pretty smooth run. I debated on making this one a turtle build. I was expecting to get a lot of leaks in the first wave. We're actually getting a few, but nothing that's not getting mowed down by the bees as they make the turn. Remember, with the bees, the range is going to overlap all the way over to here. So if something does make it past the bees, they're going to be in range of all 3 of these stacks. So there should be a bee on just about everything before it makes it to the core. Yeah, that went crazy smooth, actually. It was much better than expected. I think it was because of having an anti-heal in the mix. Without the anti-heal, there would have no doubt been some chieftain pushing their way up. Let's see, we should be able to even out the upgrades now and then have a little bit of change left over. What do we got? 500 left over. Let's go ahead and hit all of the trees one more time. Get a little bit more Draenor action out of the deal. And then we'll just spray the rest of it in wherever. Now, with some upgrades in, I don't think I'm going to have to really do a whole lot other than maybe help out with mini-bosses. But let's check it out and see how it goes here. The upgrades go a long way, of course. Now, I've got the tree up front and the bees in the back, where, like, normally back in the day, we would have put the bees kind of along this rail right here. But the reason I've got them back a little bit is because of the frost orcs, and the trees, of course, are unaffected by the frost orcs. So you're still going to get those thick vine procs every second, regardless of whether or not the tree is frosted up or not. So that is the goal there. Now you see here, my anti-heal got cyborged on that one. He gonna die? Yep, he died out. Little Zerker made it up there. Alright, now here we go. We got us a Griblock. Let's not intervene unless we have to. And see if the thick vines and the bees are going to be able to get it done. It looks like Griblock's just getting burned. Yeah, Griblock is done for. No doubt there. So didn't have to intervene with the boss at all. Now, of course, if it was a... you know, a roller or a Dragon Lord, I'm going to have to get in there and get some business done. Let's go ahead and just spam it into our trees. Try to get the most range. Are we at the max range yet? Yeah, we're at the max range now, so we can get the most range and damage possible out of that thick vines. But then bees are getting it. They're getting down in there. They're almost going all the way directly to the spawn where they come out. You can see just the piles of mana where it's all stacking up. So anti-heal saving the day here on Mr. Chieftain. And then as soon as his buff expires, he just gets wrecked. So good stuff right there. We got another cyborged Flamar there. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. The Flamars get stunned, then of course there's no anti-heal going on. So we will want to keep an eye out for that one for sure. But yeah, with some upgrades in, I mean, this is damn near AFK now. Let's see, we got an Ogre this time. Let's see how the Ogre does. It's one of those situations with the Chieftain where you don't really need to add anti-heal in Chaos 10. However, it does become just wildly effective if you do. So... although definitely not required, anti-heal is so nice to have into the mix there. That is for sure. And then what? We had one more tree to get upgraded, and we can spam the rest of it into the bees. Besides the extra range and damage I'm getting out of thick vines with the tree, one of the reasons I want to upgrade it because it does look like it's collecting a little aggro. So we do have automation on those trees where they'll be able to heal themselves. But it appears the enemies are running to the trees, which is nice. Especially when I don't have it in a lane blocking way. Another Chieftain. The Chieftain are getting handled. That is for certain. So no problems with those guys at all. Of course, with clusters right now, if you've got a build that is capable of burning the boss quickly, you definitely want to be doing Ember Mount to get a chance at that boss drop and then the additional cluster. However, this map here has been just a go-to for so long. It's like one of the best just chill build maps you can do out there if you're wanting to just chillax it out and, you know, watch a show or do whatever while your cluster farm is going. This is a great destination for it. Without question. And looking pretty good. We got Quibs rolling up now. Quibs, I think, should get melted. But if Quibs does get in range of the tree, he's going to do some damage to it. Alright, yeah, he got melted. He did get one shot off there, but not enough to do anything, anything to endanger the operation at all. Just spam the upgrades in now, as it just doesn't really matter where the upgrades go into. And, see, Slakelion actually hasn't made it very far. Yeah, Slakelion did not make it far down the path, considering as early as he came. Looking pretty good. We got the flyer push. I think Thick Vines will just kill those flyers. We got a captain. All right, now the captain, you would think would get up here because the captain likes to sprint. Looks like they're on him though. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with him. Yep, captain down. So good stuff there as well. And then we got a Malthius. Malthius, of course, will hang back and be irritating for a moment, but still has bees on him. I don't think it's... Yeah, he's probably in range of the Thick Vines as well. The Crystalline Saber. Such a awesome looking weapon right there. And there we go. So pretty smooth sailing with the bees. So, I mean, bee builds are still very usable, particularly in Chaos 10. Just get them built out with a few anti-mods and you're good to go. But that will do it for now. Thanks an absolute ton for watching. And I will be back soon with some more Dungeon Defenders 2. Thanks again, y'all. I will see you next time.